Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 105. We're going to be reading some candle charts in crypto today and learning how this is feasible with our good friend here, Chambo, from the Crypto Trifekta. That's Effecta with a K YouTube channel. How you doing there, buddy?
Mate, I am roaring. Good to be with you, buddy. It's good to see you again. Lovely to be here.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. So guys, just so you guys don't know, actually Chambo and I, we used to be colleagues in Tokyo, and he was one of the few people that didn't think me and Charlie were crazy when we were talking about the old digital gold here. I'm trying to got the autofocus here.
Damn straight.
Bitcoin. I mean, man, do you want to just tell the folks like what it was like the mania that was happening in Tokyo in 2017? Because a lot of people just don't seem to understand like how fucking wild it really was.
I mean, it just basically mapped the bloody markets, mate. It copied the trend on the charts. It just went bloody schizo, right? There were meetups everywhere. People were talking about it everywhere. But then at the same time, you'd have these little microcosms like our bloody workplace, where people just weren't listening to a bloody word we were saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was just mania. I remember like riding, the trains, and I would see like hot Japanese girls like checking their Bitflyer accounts, and just like seeing these girls walking down the streets checking their accounts, and just like everybody was insanely involved in crypto. And then like the next year, 2018, just like boom, nobody cared. All of a sudden, we're crazy conspiracy theorists.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who's laughing now, guys?
Yeah.
Who's laughing now?
Did you think it would be as much of a roaring comeback as it is now?
Mate, I in the back of my mind, yes, but emotionally it was a little bit scary because it did have a pretty big collapse. And I don't think a lot of people were used to how much FUD and how much news and Twitter and all that kind of crap can really motivate and move the markets as much as it did back then. So in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, we're good, we'll be safe, but it was still a bit freaky.
Yeah, I'm honestly like I was like, I was not of that. I thought it was just a one-time thing, and I was just like, you know what, like that was it. It was good while it lasted, and we're just gonna have to fucking make money other ways.
Well, you did, man, but at the same time, you stuck with crypto. I mean, not many people did. A lot of people just thought it was a scam and bailed, right?
Yeah, definitely. We looking at what's been going on with the markets here. Honestly, it's pretty remarkable to see what has been happening in such a short amount of time, and to see like just all these, let me ask you something, because we weren't in communication at the time. What was your whole take on when the Dogecoin thing was taken off?
I thought it was an absolute fucking joke, mate. Because for me, I mean, I was just looking at things, from the point of view of what's actually usable here, what actually has a use case. And, back when we started looking at this years ago, Doge was a bit of a joke even then. It was just a meme coin. And to see that thing go bloody schizophrenic straight up, it was kind of, number one, it was a warning that things were getting to a peak, getting to a bit of a bubble top where we might want to start thinking about taking some money off the table. But it also, the back of my mind was just like, okay, well, it's good from the point of view that we're having a lot more people knowing about crypto anyway, and jumping in and seeing what it's all about and trying to learn about it. So that was cool. But at the same time, I was just like, when things as ridiculous as a bloody meme coin go up like that and have no functionality, it's probably a time to start taking some profits.
A little bit of a market top. I mean, yeah, it was. I stayed. I bought in like the first couple of minutes. Um, that Elon tweeted about it the first time, and I bought in like I put $2,500 in when it was like 2 cents,
Right.
and then it went to like 4 cents, and I sold it, and I was just like, I just got my W. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, fair call, mate. Fair call. Because it was also off the back of that that massive movement that was happening in the stock market as well, right?
Right.
With the Wall Street, whatever they're called, and what they were doing to the games, whatever it was, and
GameStop.
yeah, and BlackBerry and all of that. So I was kind of the back of my head just thinking, wow, if these guys can manipulate it that well and show the bankers, where to stick it, there could be some pretty good opportunities for the rest of us in there as well, I think.
Yeah, honestly, when all this stuff was going up, like cum rockets and MILF coin and Safe Moon and all this stuff, like I saw people making money, and some people like, because I was telling me and Charlie from day one were basically saying like, yo, like from January, just buy Ethereum. Like Ethereum's pretty much your go-to. Ethereum and DOT are pretty much your go-tos for this year. And people were giving me shit like, you told me to buy Ethereum, and cum rockets made my friend $27,000. And I was just like, yo, dude, I've got bad news for you, but your buddy just got lucky. I was like, you can put your money in, but it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good.
No, I mean, those coins are basically rich or wrecked, right? That's what it is. Rich or wrecked.
You want to tell the folks a little bit about your history in regards to, because you're a candle charting expert. I always found this fascinating when we would do this stuff in the office. Like, just tell the audience a little bit, like, what is candle charting? Like, just tell them a little bit about your qualifications and everything you've been able to been doing here in crypto. I mean, pretty legendary stuff. I'm not going to go into detail, but we wouldn't just have any old schlub on this channel and on this show. For all 65 people watching.
Thanks for watching that. Well, I mean, I'll try and boil it down. I mean, I like a lot of people, I guess, I started with a Robert Kiyosaki seminar in 2005. He had a trader on stage. I had all these bells and whistles going off when that guy was talking. Mm-hmm. So I tracked that guy down after the seminar. I paid him some money to teach me. Mm-hmm. And I basically, for the next 10 years, just went through the process of learning how to become good enough to trade for a living. Okay. That's to basically boil it down. We can get into more details about the hows and whats if you want a bit later. But, trading is like anything, I guess, that you decide to get into. It's not a, you learn a couple of things and that's the end of learning. You always develop your trading system. You're always learning new things, the same as you are in crypto. So the first thing that I learned, the first thing that I was really interested in was the candlestick charting. The candlestick charting for me, I mean, the markets, move up and down and all of that, but it's all basically around psychology and who's in control of the market. Sometimes it's the bulls, sometimes it's the bears. And whoever's winning and all of that kind of stuff is shown through individual candlesticks. There are lots of candlesticks that we can get into and all of that kind of stuff. But, there are kind of 5 or 6 key candlestick patterns, which I've used over the years, which can show me basically the very beginning of, a move up, or the end of a move up, if that makes sense. So helps you a little bit easier, makes it easier rather to pick the bottom and pick the top. And that's, for us right now in crypto, I guess the main rationale for most of us is to buy and not sell. We just want to stack our coins, right? So, getting the entries right for us is pretty key, I think, right? To make sure we're getting in at the right time. It can also give you indications of where the market's going, excuse me, stuff like that. But I yeah, I really like the psychology of it, and that's what got me into it. And I think that there are 1,000 indicators out there. I won't go into detail about that, but candlestick charting is a very, very good one to have in your tool belt. And it's not a lagging indicator. That's the main thing. I wanted something that could show me real time on the charts live what could happen next.
What do you think about people who like, because Charlie gets a lot of criticism for using Elliott Waves. People are like, oh, Charlie, using Elliott Waves, it's outdated, it's blah 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 blah. You said how long have you been a trader and like chart reader for now?
Shit, mate, probably 15 years I've been doing this. Yeah.
So you have a pretty good amount of knowledge under your belt to basically criticize if somebody's good or not. And you quite frankly, I didn't even ask you, and we talked about this off air, but you said Charlie's getting like really, really good with his TA, right? What's your take on people who criticize the Elliott Wave stuff?
I mean, frankly, mate, unless they have studied their asses off with it and tried to apply it to a lot of charts and found it failing on all of those charts, I would tell them they're barking up the wrong tree. I mean, Elliott Waves for me, and we can all use it differently. I love using Elliott Waves to show the larger time frame picture of a long run. So meaning I look at, the weekly chart, for example, and I can see pretty easily, approximately how far we are through a market cycle and how far we have left to go. Charlie does the same thing. He's a lot better with cycles than I am, but the Elliott Wave is great. I wouldn't be knocking that at all. It's just hard to understand. And I think that's why people just go, fuck it, get rid of it, right? Because people just want an easy, quick fix. They don't want to have to work hard to try and figure something out. Charlie's done that. It actually works quite well.
Yeah. What do you think about the duration of the current bull market? Are we just getting going? Are we coming to an end? What would you say, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, mate, I think we have probably another probably 6 weeks, 7 weeks to get ready for a massive leg up in this market. And the reason I say that, mate, and I would obviously tell everyone out there, again, don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor, blah, blah. But if you go to some of the biggest names on YouTube right now, the guys who've been doing this for years, they're all saying the same bloody thing. We're all looking at the same thing on the charts. We're about to come into a massive leg up. Get your shit ready. Get your coins in there. Get ready to make some cash.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you think though is the duration of what we have left? Are we going? Are we got until summer until it's gonna start dumping off, or what do you say?
You mean summer next year, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty crap at doing that the long-term stuff down to a T, mate. But I would say, I would be comfortable until probably 4th or 5th month next year. But again, I mean, I take my tips off the charts. There are a lot of good patterns out there and all of that which can show us the way. But I tend to use candlesticks a lot as well. To gauge where things are going and when things might be turning and, time to take profit, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I have to see it as we go, but I think we have at least until March.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten at least until March, and then we've been saying it since January, and, we're seeing, the audience, we believed what we believed, and we knew we were right from the get-go. But in regards to what we've been predicting, we said like in January, like in December, that we're gonna see some serious shit, and I don't see anything deterring from that right now. I think let me ask you this, right? Because we were supposed to have a pullback in September. I don't know if we had it already with that little bit of a pullback from 52 down to like 44.
Yep.
My full blown conspiracy theory.
We're getting deep. I love it.
my full blown conspiracy prediction was like the market would have its 200-day moving average low, or 60. I think it was 60-day moving average low, and then we would be coupled with the ruling in the infrastructure bill in America to like hit crypto and like kind of
Yeah.
push it down hardcore, so all the institutional buyers can scoop it up before this big parabolic launch that we're about to experience. Because a lot of people seem to think like the markets are organic and everybody's playing fair, right? Fucking
Just look at the bloody candle we had a few days ago, guys.
yeah.
I don't think
Which
that
one?
shit's playing fair.
Which which coin are you talking about?
All of them. I mean, that massive candle down we had on Bitcoin a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, this market is unfortunately moved a lot by FUD, and it's moved a lot by market rumor and innuendo and shit like that. They're not playing fair. No one's playing fair here. We could talk conspiracy theories all night. I love it, but my take on this are the big banks know they're screwed. They know that they cannot compete with what crypto can do for people. They know that people are not going to use their services anymore. Why the fuck would you when you can get some of the returns in crypto, right?
Yeah.
And they're scared. So, they're going to come out the front and they're going to go, yeah, crypto's a scam. Don't ever buy it. And then they're going to dump the crap out of it with all their whale friends. And they're going to take all of the coins that the dumb plebes are bloody selling. Don't sell your shit. It's highly, go on, mate.
No, I was just gonna say, like, for me, did you have diamond hands during the summer dump?
So, I mean, yes and no. I have three different. Well, I have a lot of different strategies, but my hodls, like Osama and Dot and stuff like that, didn't get touched. I also do some position trading and swing trading and scalping. I do that for my day-to-day expenses. That shit got stopped out. It got taken off the table back into stable coins. But my holder portfolio, that shit just stays and grows.
Yeah. I didn't. I mean, yeah. So you had some automatic, like, what do you call it?
Stop losses and stuff.
Stop losses set, and then those are just triggered. But other than that, you didn't like freak out and sell, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it blows my mind how many people like get emotional and freak out and sell. Like I didn't. For me, I'm like a jaded war veteran. I'm just like, nope, like, it's just nothing affects me. And I saw Ethereum. I put in a considerable chunk. I'll put it in the private chat. You can see. I put a considerable chunk into Ethereum at like 3,400, and then it crashed to 1,800. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, it hurts, man. Don't get me wrong. It's a kick to the nutsack. It really is. But I mean, you've got to believe in the fundamentals, right? That's why we're in this game, and we've got to believe in the big fuck you to the government and the banks.
Yeah. It is what like I think what we have going on right now, it just seems from what not to get too crazy about. I mean, you're from Australia, so what's going on in regards to like government overreach, and it's I just can't seem to wrap my head around anything other than this is like something to stave off like the financial system kind of on its last leg. I don't know. I could be crazy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but it just I don't know. I just see I don't understand how we could live in 2021 and I still have to go to the bank and use something called a Swift bank system that takes 5 days to send my money across the fucking ocean, where I'm charged out the ass in fees. And I tried to do a money transfer in May. It took 19 days.
It's mental.
19 days.
Absolutely mental. Look, I mean, they know they're in trouble. I mean, part of my last job was, I had to talk to a lot of these bankers, and I was lucky enough to talk to quite a few bankers who actually made the transition from traditional banking to crypto, working for places like Coinbase and stuff like that. And they saw the light. They could see the writing on the walls. And obviously this is these are young guys. These are not the career bankers. But it was refreshing and validating, obviously, to hear that from so-called Ivy League, geniuses and stuff like that. Yeah, at least they could see the truth of it. But yeah, I mean, look, I think everything going on right now is partly propping up a system which is outdated and screwed. It just doesn't work anymore, and it's dying painfully, and it's trying to take us with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how, like, do you? I mean, I don't know. Who knows, man? The way things have been going lately, I just losing faith in humanity. But do you think people will like use these Fed coins and like these central bank coins?
They won't have a choice, mate.
Hmm.
I don't think they're going to have a choice. I mean, the same as a lot of them don't think they have a choice, with using paper fiat. And we can talk about it again this all night, but it just goes back to our upbringing, how we were raised, the school system, all that kind of stuff that keeps us enslaved to this shit. But unless people can think outside the box and get out their comfort zones a bit, mate, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one to get people to move on. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna have a choice at all. It's gonna happen.
What a time! What a bad time to be a normie, eh?
Mate, I mean, there are opportunities everywhere to get ourselves out of this. We just seem, most of us just seem just resolved just to just sit and take it, and it's frustrating, man. Really frustrating. Anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah, but it's good. We the audience likes to hear, just perspective of other people, because the last thing I want to do is create an echo chamber. You know what I mean? We want to talk about just what's really going on in the world and what the hell, crypto has to do with it. Because I think that these institutions truly are a little bit afraid of crypto.
They're terrified. Terrified. Not afraid. Terrified, mate.
Because they want to keep their control. They want to keep their power. They want to keep their. It really all boils down to is power, right? That's all they want to keep.
Yep. Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about candle. So it's called Candlestick Charting, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, basically Candlestick Charting. That'll do, mate.
So what are the basic principles of Candlestick Charting?
So each candlestick, whether or not it be like a day candlestick, an hour, a minute, whatever, but it basically gives a snapshot of the market psychology during that particular time frame. Okay. And depending on the psychology of that time frame, they make patterns that you can trade off of. Okay. So they can, like I said, they can give you a pattern for when a downtrend is finishing, when an uptrend is finishing, when things are going sideways, when there's indecision, lots of things like that. But it's as I said, what I like about it is it's happening real time. So, in conjunction with other things like volume or whatever particular indicator takes your fancy, you can have a pretty powerful trading system based on that.
Very interesting.
And you can get a heads up where things are going once you know the candlesticks well enough.
So you basically, the candles give you predictive behavior data basically, and then each candle provides sort of a pattern. Is there like three candles provide a pattern, 4 candles, 5? How does that work?
So some of the most powerful ones, mate, that I use are just one candle. And I'll show you some examples. But I mean, you got to remember, I mean, everything that happens in the market is based on psychology. And that's what I love about it. And I love being able to see that psychology come out in the candles. Either the bulls are scared, the bulls are in control, whatever. For me, that's just a cool thing. But take that out of it, it's just a good way to get an idea of direction.
Good stuff. Outlaw Transport, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. She says, sending my support this morning. Was able to get in contact with Josh last night on the idea of coding part-time while driving cross-country, running my trucking company currently. Thanks a lot, brother, from another Mentor Connect. You're welcome, bro. Thanks for the donation. Why don't you want to pull up an example of some of these, the candlestick charting? Because like I said, I don't think Charlie ever does this at all.
Sure. Let me get this up here. All right. Can everyone see that?
Just you've got to hit the share button at the bottom.
Share one.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me, guys.
Jim H says, like this guy. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right.
I think that's the one I want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. We're going to pull it up. All right, it's full screen, so there you go, brother.
Okay. Right, where to start? I mean, let's just take a very simple example here. So the Ethereum Usd chart is an easy one to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Let me zoom right in for you. So obviously we have the big, the big crash down here. All of this just looks like nothing, right? It just looks like a whole bunch of lines and whatever. I'm not sure how much you guys know about candlesticks. To give you a very brief rundown, obviously green is an up day, red's a down day. One of these, this is a daily chart. So one of these candles, like this big one here, represents 1 day in the markets. Okay. If you have a wick like this down the bottom, that means the price got all the way down here to the bottom of this candle, and then it closed at the bottom of the red square. I'm not going to get more technical than that. One of the most powerful candlestick reversal patterns that I look for, excuse me, is called a hammer. And it looks like a hammer, like this here, for example. Or this here, for example. Now, there are a couple of different rules for, when this hammer is going to be more effective than not. Usually, I like to see the hammer underneath, the whole thing underneath the prior candle, but it doesn't need to be. And you can see an example here of where the price action has come down. This hammer comes in, and then it takes off, right? Down here as well. Another big hammer here, and this marked the bottom of the downtrend and the start of the new uptrend that we're in now. So what I would do with this kind of thing is basically if I'm in a long-term trade, or I'm doing a swing trade or whatever, just looking for to capitalize on a run like this, I basically have a look for something like this hammer. If I see this at the bottom, I'll wait for the next candle. If that candle starts going up, I buy, basically. And I put a stop loss underneath that, and I just let it go. So this is one example of, I think, probably the most powerful pattern there is out there. But it works. It works the other way around, right? I mean, if we look at this one here, this is called a shooting star, but it looks like a hammer upside down. Same thing. If you have a run up and you see this kind of hammer formation at the top, if the next candle after starts, going down, that is an indication, to either take profits or, get your stop loss set or whatever your strategy might be. So this is probably the most powerful pattern I think out there.
So simple.
Yeah, and any trading pattern has to be simple, right? Let me give you another example here of well, let me get all this crap off. That was the Elliott Wave there, by the way. So now, we're going to look at a couple of coins, maybe, mate, but what you're going to find in a lot of coins is you're going to have this kind of sideways choppy stuff where nothing happens. Okay, and this is basically where the coin is taking a breather and trying to figure out what direction it's going to take. And usually what you'll find is when it's going sideways and it's in a breather, it's usually operating within the first main candle that started that sideways movement. So look at this on Bitcoin right after the big crash, this massive day. See that?
That was on May 19th, 2021 this year.
Yeah, that was something's happening in my pants candle, that one.
Yes.
Right. But you'll notice everything else the day closed, like this one came down outside of this range, but it closed inside the range. Everything else closed within here. So for me, when I was, looking for a swing trade or something like that, I wasn't really trading in any of this because this was just a sideways pattern, and that's kind of the power. If you have a big candle like that, the easiest thing to do if you're swinging as a swing trade is just wait for it to close outside of that range, and that gives you an indication of where it's going to go. Okay, now let me give you an example here, because this is, I think, a good one. So all the professional traders, I think, were looking at this particular line here. So this is the bottom of that big candle, right? And you'll see it came down here, wicked, went back up again, closed, okay, whatever. Everyone was waiting to see, would a candle close underneath this line? That's what everyone was saying, because if it did close underneath that line, the chances are that it's going to continue down. So I was watching this day like a hawk, and you'll see if I zoom right in, it actually closed underneath that line, right? So at that point, the whole market shat itself. And I thought, okay, fuck it. We're in for some more pain. We're going to go down. The next candle is the most important one. That's what confirms it. And clearly you can see the bulls were just like, no, fuck it. We're done with going down. And they completely reversed it. At that point, I just went long. That was my indication. Straight away. We had a nice big, this is another powerful called engulfing pattern. If you get a big candle that just completely consumes the candle before it, that's an indication that things are going to go in the direction of that engulfing candle. So that for me marked the bottom of the entire move down. This was the first candle to close outside of that range, but then the bulls were like, no, fuck you, we're going. And off they went. And here we are.
Wow. While you have the Bitcoin chart up, right? What would you like to just give us a little bit of what you personally believe is going to happen between, let's just say now, could you do until end of the year? Is that too long for you, or what would you say?
Why don't we just keep it more emotional and just keep it for the next couple of weeks, mate?
Okay, let's do that too.
Yeah, we can go in end of year, but I think most people are kind of thinking, what's going to happen now? Am I, are we in for some more pain or whatever? I mean, if I look at this again, I mean, and I just said this with this candle here, right? We've got this big candle here, but everything is happening now within inside this range, which basically means no one's in control. The bulls aren't in control. The bears aren't in control, right? It's a bit of a power struggle right now. That's what these candles, when you start getting smaller candles like this, it means, you've got the bulls on one end, the bears at the other end, and they're just waiting for the first person to shoot. And then there's going to be a big shootout, and whoever wins, wins. So that's where we're at a standoff right now, basically. But when you have a situation like this, and all of the price action is happening at the lower end of the candle, so it's all happening in this lower half, the chances are it's going to break down more. Okay? That's what it is. If it was opposite, and it was all happening up here, the chances are it's going to break up. It's just momentum. The momentum's come down, and it just keeps smacking. Chances are more likely it's going to keep going down than up at this stage.
Interesting. So you think we're gonna have a couple weeks of downward price action?
I think either we're going to have some more time of choppy sideways until either the bulls or the bears make a move, or we're going to keep going down a little bit. I don't think it's going to be much, mate. I mean, if we zoom out and we just look at basic support and resistances, maybe maximum down here, kind of 37, 38. We've already tested this support here basically with this wick, and we've bounced off it. So I don't think it's going to be, a pants consuming maneuver by the market, mate. And we could reverse. I mean, this here, if I wake up tomorrow and this bloody thing's gone up, then the momentum's changed direction. We've got a stronger candlestick, and maybe that'll signal the direction out.
So basically, we need to close outside of that most previous big dump candle there that happened about 7 days ago.
Yeah, I mean this is the best indication of direction for me is where is it going to close, down or up, right? You know, at the moment, as I said, the momentum's stuck here. If we get a nice juicy candle moving up, then that could signal a change to the momentum as well. But at this stage, it's all down the bottom of this range. The chances are more often than not it's going to come down. Remember, in trading, we're all about probabilities, right? And we've got to stack all the odds in our favor when we take a trade. So that's kind of two things I guess I'd take away, everybody, from this. I'd remember to look out for things like these, you know, hammers here and here. Now remember, the reason why these hammers didn't signal a big change is because they're still inside this big wick. It's not at the bottom of the big run yet, okay? But when you do have a big run up or a big run down, you look for one of these and that can signal the next move up. Very simple. Wait for the next candle after that. If it starts moving up, then get on it. Get in for a trade.
That's really interesting. Shout out to Herge Cuesta, $28 super chat. He says, thanks for all the valuable info. Just listening to your show, my life hit the hammer on an upward trend. Thank you so much. Thank you for tying the super chat into the data. It looks like you're paying attention. Okay, so let me ask you something. If the guys wanted to go and learn more about these candle, like how would they type this in? Like Japanese candles or
so
how would you search for this knowledge?
So what I would do, mate, is I would just go into Google and just go best candlestick patterns. That's it. Best candlestick patterns. I mean, mate, there's so many bloody strategies, trading strategies, and all that kind of stuff all over the internet. It's very easy to get lost. But yeah, I mean, this is just a very simple way. Just learn 3 or 4 of the key candlesticks, and it can really help you out. And it can really help you out, especially if you go to something like the weekly, where you want to catch really big moves. You know, a glaring candlestick pattern that you see can get you into a move that goes, what, bloody shitloads, you know, 400%, 500%, something like that, just based on one candle. And the weekly can be a lot easier to kind of identify these candles as well. So yeah, just go and Google that, guys. Just find 3 or 4, look at some charts. It can really help you out with identifying weeklies, identifying when you're in a trading range and which direction the price action might go.
Fantastic. Let's move on. So we're gonna do 4 coins today, guys. So we're going to do number 1 is we're gonna do Bitcoin, which we've already done. Number 2, we're gonna move on to Ethereum. So we're gonna do Ethereum a couple weeks out, and then we're gonna do Karura, which has recently smashed its all-time highs. We've been talking about that a lot on this show. And then we're going to do a very interesting coin that Simon brought to Charlie and I's attention at lunch the other day in Tokyo, and that was Moon River. So take it away here, Chambo.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I mean, Ethereum, first of all, another beautiful example of a candle there. A nice hammer candle, which started the move here. Anyway, I mean, this is... I'll have to use some
kind of almost similar to Bitcoin to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've got that big bloody candle, haven't we? And we're just kind of stuck at the lower ranges of it, and we just can't manage to get our shit together and get up. I mean, I was hoping we would get a nice follow through after this candle here, but it hasn't happened. We're getting no follow through. We're getting no volume. We have this support here. You see it's bounced a few times.
Right.
So what I foresee here, guys, is pretty much similar to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin might actually lead the charge. If Bitcoin breaks down past that level we spoke of before, you know, down here somewhere, then that, I think, will be powerful enough to break Ethereum through this bottom trend line. And I think we'll see Ethereum about 2,800,
Mm.
I think. At that support. This isn't a bad thing, guys, and I know that people get a bit nervous with stuff like that, and yes, it was a big emotional dump that day.
Yeah.
You just have to zoom out a bit on the on the picture, right? I mean, that was just a run up of 131%, and it didn't have a break, and that's not healthy for any chart. It
Yeah.
can't just go up forever. It has to have a break.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. This is the break, and it seems to be holding this level okay for me. As long as Bitcoin can keep its shit together, we might just see this start moving back up. It's all going to come down to Bitcoin, I think.
Yeah, Bitcoin kind of, with a few, like, I mean, I know you're a fan of Kusama, but regardless of like, certain coins like, Kusama and Bitcoin, I would say that Bitcoin pretty much dominates what all other coins do. Like Kusama, like went full retard, like when Bitcoin was crashing, and then like went to like $600. I remember
Yeah,
that. That was great. And then like here we are. Once again, Bitcoin is just driving the bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean, like I said, I do a lot of scalping, day trading in the morning, as I said, to kind of pay the bills. But what I actually take kind of my lead from is Ethereum for the altcoins.
Nice.
But when it comes to the overall market and what's going to happen to Ethereum, I still do have to look at the the big dog, Bitcoin. This could, I mean, it's broken. It's broken the top of these candles. This could do something here.
Look, oh yeah, why you still have Bitcoin up? Let me ask you this, because I know we're going to be kind of all over the place, but welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show. You said the charts are indicating a massive move upwards. Where do you personally see that?
Well, for me, it's Elliott Waves, mate.
Okay.
That's So I mean, we're basically starting on the the final fifth run. I would say here. Where is my Elliott Wave? Just very loosely.
Yeah. Take your time. The chat is loving this. I don't know if you're reading the chat, but they're loving it.
Oh, I haven't actually seen it. Maybe anyway.
I'll read some super chats in the meantime. 2 seconds. Up and Adam 999 super chat. Is Solana still a good investment? Not official financial advice, of course. And how much ETH should I have right now while the price is still low? So the official Tokyo Crypto Show, we like to tell people you should have 1 Bitcoin, 10 Ethereum, and 1,000 DOT. I think that's like a pretty good normie portfolio. Is Solana a good investment? Yes. Fojian, $10 super chat. MLD is touching up on technical analysis. Skill refinement approaching 50%. Really, though, thank you for enjoying the fresh perspective here. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to plug Chambo's YouTube channel here at the end. And then here we go. Jim H, $50 super chat. Thank you for the big donation. Thoughts on longer holds, example, greater than 1 year to minimize capital gains. DOT, Jim. DOT is the way to go, brother. Just get DOT. You're sitting on an easy 8 to 9x at this price point. Go ahead, Simon.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I mean, this is your answer right here, basically. I mean, we had this massive impulse wave here. We've had the fourth pullback wave is finished, and we're just starting on this fifth leg up, the final leg up, the last hurrah. And I was talking to Jonathan before about this, but if you look at some of the more respected influencers on YouTube, everyone's saying the same thing now. They're all saying, you've got a month or 6 weeks to get your coins ready for this explosive move.
Pack those moon bags. Pack those moon bags, baby.
Pack those bags. So Yeah, I mean, look, Elliott Waves can be hard to get your head around. It's taken me bloody years, but it's always given me a very good indication of cycles and where we are in the cycle and stuff like that. So we're just getting started on this 5th cycle, guys, and I would like to think that we're going to get to about 110
in this cycle
for my cycle.
Wow.
For this last 5th wave. Now I might be talking out my ass. I hope not, but we'll see what happens.
I like it. Some people think we're doing 100K in December.
Mate, I mean, everyone seems to think that all of the retail are just going to start jumping in right now. I'm not. I mean, yeah, we're definitely getting more mainstream. We're going mainstream. I don't think that's ever going to stop now. I don't know why everyone thinks it's going to happen in the next quarter, but shit, if it does, it's fine with me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So okay, so we're predicting choppy sideways movement for Bitcoin, Ethereum, kind of the same, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It'll sort itself out in a couple of weeks, mate. It's just a good time to start accumulating anything you need to accumulate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been saying it's not over until October, so accumulate. Looking at let's go to coin number 3 that we were going to talk about, because the webinars for the crypto mindset course are about to start here in 12 minutes. So me and Chambo are going to be popping in there and getting our education going. Let's do 2 more. We're going to talk about Karura, which is the newest addition to the Polkadot Kusama ecosystem. How do you feel about this one? Just the fundamentals and everything, because basically it's a governance token. But are you more of the utility, or are you just looking at the charts, or what are you thinking?
I'm just going to look at the chart on this one, mate. I think fundamentally, I like it. It's a crucial part of this ecosystem they're building out. So fundamentally, I like it anyway. But chart wise, I think I can already see there's a couple of good examples for everyone to kind of look at here. We've been in a choppy sideways pattern, right, the whole way through. You can usually tell when things are going to break out by the number of these little shitty, they're called Doji Candles, and it just means indecision. You see how everyone pushed it up and down, but then they met right in the middle and they just couldn't figure out a direction for the price. When you get a whole bunch of these together, it indicates a move is going to happen one way or the other, and that's what's happened here. It exploded up again. We've just got all this choppy sideways doji type stuff, but it finished on this hammer, and bang, up it goes.
Damn.
So, and then the volume came in to support it, obviously. So where's this candle going now? It's pumped a lot already, unfortunately for a lot of people. But we can see here another good example. This is an indecision candle. If it stays like this, it means it can't figure out what to do now. It doesn't know if it's going to go up. It doesn't know if it's going to go down. And it's inside this big candle. So remember what I said about big candles, right? So if this tells me, more likely than not, I could be wrong, we're going to have some choppy sideways, right, for the next few days before it decides either to move outside of this range or the bottom of this range. So depending on how you trade, how you invest, what your risk appetite is, your thoughts on this coin, all of that kind of stuff, there are a few different things that you can do here. You can accumulate, and this is not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. You can accumulate in here if you like it long term. If you are one of these people who are just never going to sell, fine. If it goes down, buy more. You can put a very tight stop loss here. A looser stop loss under here. I'm not going to talk about that. It's all individual preference and stuff like that. But anyway, short term, this is telling me choppy sideways. Good place to accumulate. And then just wait for the move outside of the range to confirm which direction it's going to go.
Yeah, I've been eyeing this one since it was low 6, and I was trying to get in. It looks like that previous, if you go back, let's see, 1, 2,
Mm.
3, 4, 5, 6. There's a little hammer there right before it took off. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start my own channel here too. The hammer candlestick channel.
Yeah,
I'm getting
fucking
good at.
hammer time, man. Hammer
I'm
time.
getting I'm getting good at this. Wow, but that's I think it's I always like to produce one piece of data for the audience to take away, and I think that's fantastic. This hammer indicator. I mean, because every chart that you pulled up so far has clearly showed like this. I mean, the beginning of a massive uptrend is always marked by this hammer. Um, yeah, fuck. This makes me depressed though, dude, because of my goddamn Chase Bank. Do you have Chase Bank down there in Australia? There's a bunch of fucking criminals.
No, mate. We've got our own criminals back in Australia. We don't need yours as well. Bloody hell.
Oh god, yeah, no, man. They delayed my bank transfer, and I just could not get in time, and I just feel sick. Make me feel good though that it's chopping sideways. Looks like the active price right now looks like it's at 11.96. Yeah, it was 11.98 about a couple minutes ago. So it seems to be chopping. Yeah.
I mean, it's more likely to keep chopping the more that Ethereum and Bitcoin keep chopping. I mean, they're going to dictate it, right? And Ethereum, as we said, all it's bloody doing is chopping. You know, there's going to be a few coins to pump for whatever news or fundamentals that might be coming out, but most of them are just going to follow this kind of price action. So yeah, don't get bummed out, mate. I mean, from what I've heard on the street, this thing is ripe to go to the bloody moon. So
yeah,
if you like it long term, discount average in.
Charlie has a 175 maximum end of year target for it.
Shit. So it's at $12. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, look, you can, I think Charlie has spoken about this in one of his earlier, webinars, and I hope everyone's watching because they're bloody awesome. But if you're worried about it being too high and you want to try and hold out for it to come back here, that's not always the best idea. You can start putting some small buys in here, and then just wait for the direction to confirm, right? And then you make your decision. Put a few $100 if you've got 1,000 here, whatever. If it drops below here, indication is it's going to go down and maybe support this trend line. Buy more here. If it pulls out above here, all right, there's your confirmation. The move is going to go. You better fucking jump on the train or you're going to lose out, right?
Amazing, dude. Amazing. Yeah, I'm really. I mean, I just knew once Charlie just mentioned Karura to me, and then we talked about it privately, and I saw what was going on. I've just been fucking Karura mania. In my, I mean, we talked about this at fucking lunch. I was telling you about Karura, so, it's nice to have a general idea of what's going on in the market, man. Because Jesus, guys like you and I mean, your technical proficiency is far superior to mine. I have a pretty just good fundamental understanding of crypto and where market psychology is dragging everybody, and but like even me, like compared to the average person, like the average person is just so lost, and I just it's wild to have the high level conversations that we have and see people get alienated by them to an extent. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's scary, mate. No, it's completely scary. It's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, just to try and figure out how to simplify it for people. But yeah, I mean, like anything, it's a new world. You've got to put in your effort to learn it.
Definitely. Do you're still in you still have a job and stuff. Do people think you're like a psychopath when you talk about crypto money and stuff, or are they a little bit more accepting this bull run?
No, they're a lot more accepting because I don't work as much as I should in this job that I have now. I basically trade at the office, and people see me do it live, so they they've seen what I do. they've seen what I'm pulling out. So yeah, I mean, I think they've seen the proof in the pudding now, basically.
Look at this guy. He says he invested $40,000 on Karura at $7. Fucking solid W.
Look at $7. Look at that.
Yeah.
Just over the top of this bloody hammer. You nailed it, mate. You nailed it. Perfect entry.
I
I didn't
love
even
it.
have to come on tonight to talk to you guys. This guy's bloody got it already.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's go to the final coin we're going to talk about today, and the final project, which is very interesting. I didn't even know about this one until you brought it up, and I think Charlie kind of overlooked it. But that is Moon River, and this motherfucking thing went like full retard recently.
Yeah, mate. It's so this is I guess the main one that's come out of the Kusama chain auctions or whatever. So both Kusama and Moon River, I managed to get in by leasing my Kusama to these companies. So I got some free ones, luckily. But this thing is obviously the test net for Moonbeam, I think it's called, which is going to come out on the dot ecosystem.
Right.
And people are looking at the chart, obviously expecting a lot from it because the bloody thing has mooned immediately. But again, just going over the candlesticks, we've had the big move up, and then we have all these indecision. Which way are we going to go? Which way are we going to go? And you'll see towards the end, when the decision's becoming closer, the candles get smaller and smaller. Volume disappears. And then fucking bang, off we go, right? So again, we're in some sideways choppy, trying to figure out which direction it's going to go. So look, I mean, every indication of this thing is it's going to do very well this bull run, right? I mean, people are saying, in the multiple thousands. So yeah,
And
I mean,
it's currently, I mean, what did it debut at price wise?
So it came out at about $4.
Wow.
No, $6.80 or something like that. So I mean, it's, geez, what's it done? Fuck me, look at that. Yeah, it's done well over 1,100% now.
11, I think that was 11,000%.
It was 11,000, was it? God,
I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Hold on. Pull that up again. I think.
I don't even want to look at that again.
Oh no, you're right. No.
Oh, I wasn't. Hang on, I didn't get my thing right.
Yeah, 11,000.
11,200. That's amazing. I mean, that's just obscene.
Yeah,
just obscene. But it's interesting from a psychological point of view. People can go, shit, I'm too late. The run's done. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, the shit hasn't even started.
Yeah.
And this is still trending. You've got to remember, these sideways moves happen. Think of a guy running up a bloody mountain. He's going to get tired up here. Yeah. He needs to have a rest and have a breather before he starts the next leg. And that's what these candles are showing. So, like, again, trade it how you want it. I mean, for you guys who like this long term, good accumulation zone. If it pops up and starts moving beyond this, you've got your confirmation. You can buy more. If it breaks down below this, if you are somebody who likes to stop out and wait, you can put a stop loss below here, or you just hold it till it goes up, because it looks like it's gonna keep going.
Would you say that Moon River is the Kusama to the dot that is Moonbeam?
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Is Moonbeam already launched yet? No, it hasn't launched yet. When is Moonbeam set to launch?
So I think the polka dot auctions will come out in October. So then you can go the race to try and lend your dot out, and then I think it comes out around December-ish, but I'm not 100% sure on that, mate.
Very fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, remember when you're staking your stuff and when you're lending it out, you're locking it up for a year, basically.
Oh, you have to lock it for a year.
You're locking it for a year. So you need to remember that, right? Because in a year, we might be in a bear market.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a lot of risk to that. So my Kusama, and I might have made a mistake here, even though I did very well. I got a bunch of Moon River and a bunch of Karura. It's locked. So I'm seriously reconsidering whether or not I should lend my dot out, because it'll lock it up for a year, and who knows what's going to happen in a year, right? It's maybe lend out half of it or whatever, stake the other half, but it's something to think about.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. What a time to be alive, huh?
Opportunities everywhere, mate. Opportunities everywhere. You've just got to as Robert Kiyosaki said to me ages ago when I had lunch with him, is he said, most guys just don't have the bloody balls to go
Oof.
out there and do it, to try and fail and fuck it up and try again. Just guys don't have the balls to do it.
I'm just looking at everything here in the market, and I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just like that. What I'm going to say is like a little bit of a harsh statement, but I mean, people are kind of used to it already watching me. I think in today's day and age, to an extent, I think staying poor past 35 is a choice. I mean, there's just so much free information out there, so many ways to make money from the click of your fucking keyboard. Free courses, learning how to code, learning crypto, everything. Like the great equalizer is effort.
Yep.
And
100%.
Yeah, it's unreal,
right.
mate. It is unreal.
You've got to be prepared to make mistakes, but you've got to be prepared to work your ass off and get it done.
Have you ever done the mistake of leverage trading?
Every day. Every day. So for me, it's not a mistake, and I'll say right now, obviously, I don't recommend anybody does it unless they're a very good trader. But I mean, that's how I pay the bills. I scalp trade in the mornings. I use heavy leverage. My personal rule is I never go to bed with an open position with leverage. Never. I'm usually in and out of leverage positions in about anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. But do not do it unless you're a professional trader. Do not fuck with that.
So that was leading up to my next question. How much have you been liquidated at once?
I've never been liquidated.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't. So I mean, look, when I scalp, I have stop losses, right? So, for example, if I was to scalp this, I would get in on this candle, but my stop loss would be right there. The risk is very minimal. I'm not going to get liquidated there. So I have a strategy, I have a system, and I have very tight stop losses. I'm not fucking with getting liquidated, mate. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's good. That shows you're responsible.
It's my money, mate. Damn straight and responsible. I worked hard to get it.
Yeah, one of our buddies out here, he got liquidated $10,000 in one day. He's a good boy. I love him. But he earned that money installing ACs in the fucking Japanese summer.
Just got to take it away in a liquidation. That's a major kick to the nutsack. That is. Good Lord.
He bounced back though. He got in at Kusama when it was like $9, so he's bounced back pretty good.
Minted. How you doing?
Yeah. But like he took it like a man, and he called me. He was freaking out, almost crying. It was hilarious, and he was losing his mind because he's like young. He's like 22, 23.
Oh, he's got loads of time to fuck up now. Bloody hell!
Man, it's so funny. It was so damn funny.
Well, head off to it, man. Lesson learned. You get in there, you take your licks, you learn your lessons, you move on. That's the game.
Absolutely. If you guys want to find more of Chambo here, you guys can go over to the Crypto Trifekta, okay? And then you just click on this button right here that hits subscribe, and then you click on the notification bell and click all, and you'll be able to see his channel where they upload and they talk about what's going on in regards to cryptocurrency and the current market. I'll put the link in the chat here, and then you guys can go over there and subscribe to him. I know him in real life. Good guy, definitely credible source, and he knows what he's talking about, and we wanted to just bring you a little spice. Apparently today's the off day for the Tokyo Crypto Show webinars. Well, it is also my off day. I just wanted to come give one hour. That's all you get. Thanks for the super chats, guys. We'll catch you next time.